Years ago, I was working at Walt Disney World and I became a Disney trainer. And one of the things that my boss did, the supervisor that I had, was he took all of us out to the main parking lot. And then from the main parking lot, we got onto the same transportation that the guests did. We went through the same procedures. We had to go ahead and come in through the front gates. We had to walk all the way through this, and we were taken totally out of our comfort zone. And he said, I want you to view everything through the eyes of the guest. Let me ask you a question. With your business, when was the last time that you viewed everything through the eyes of your guest? Why do you ask that, Reed? The reason I ask that is sometimes we become so used to things the way they are, we don't see them with fresh eyes. Oh, one of the things that I always like to do is if I'm out there someplace, I'm looking at doing some consulting for business, I will take pictures of the outside. I will take pictures of the inside because people can come in and they won't notice it, but as you start showing them a big 8 by 11 print and they start to see the actual things that are there, you can go ahead and you can circle these things. Number one most important thing is the outside has to look good. Because if the outside doesn't look good, and that includes the signs, if the outside doesn't look good, people aren't going to come into your store. Number two, the sidewalks had to be swept. It's a very unimportant thing until you look at it through the eyes of the guest. And the guest might see this and say, ooh. Number three, the front door and the windows should be clean. When was the last time that you cleaned the front door and the windows? If you don't have time to do it, hire a high school kid to do this for you once a week. Put it on the schedule. If you don't have time, spend $20 to have a kid wash the windows for you. They'd love to do it. They would. $20 is $20. Take them an hour work. Number four, make sure the bathrooms are sparkling. When we owned Blue Parrot Camping Park, we had the reputation for having the cleanest bathrooms in the state. How did we do that? Because we went ahead and made it a priority. We hired some of our campers to go ahead and clean the bathrooms for us, and we let them know right up front, our highest compliment that we have is that we had the cleanest bathrooms in the state. Now, with a camping park, people might go ahead and take a shower there every day or every other day. They're not going to, because RVs and campers are rather small, they might not take a shower in their own little camper. Some of the larger ones did, but they went ahead and used the bathrooms a lot more than you would at someplace else. If you have a store, how often do you check the restrooms? Is it sparkling? Do people go in there and say, wow, this is nice? Or they go in there and say, ooh, ooh? That's something to consider. When someone comes in the door, how often do you have your employees greet that person? It doesn't have to be everybody, but you should have at least one person that welcomes them in. And ask them, is there anything I can help you with? Don't be pushy, but you want to go ahead and let them know, I'm here when you need me. You want to have the checkout process be so smooth and so seamless that people don't have to wait long. I remember one time I was in this one store and it was just around Christmas time and there was this huge line and all of the registers were filled. And we'd been waiting this line for about 20-25 minutes and the person behind the counter says, I'm off. I can't stay here. And she closed her register and walked out. That was, incidentally, the last time that I shopped at that store. You want to have your checkout line have not more than 3 or 4 people in line at any one time. If you have a huge rush, guess what? You want to have a system where you go ahead and call someone and all of your employees should be cross-trained on the register so that if you have a rush, you go ahead and take care of that. Now, are there times when you're going to have more than 3 or 4 people in line? Absolutely. I have gone to, I've been to certain of the big box stores, and they'll have a huge line where they'll have 8, 9, 10 people in line. And what they do is they have a person out there that scans everything, and they put that on their little scanner, and when the next person gets up there, boom, all they have to do is they just pay. It is cool. Everything is already done, and a person gets up there, boom, and they know. They just go ahead and scan your card. Here's how much it will be. It's already done. That is so cool. What they did was they became proactive. They started taking those long lines and they said, we've got every line filled. We have every counter taken care of by our customers. Let's see what we can do to go ahead and shorten the waiting time so that people don't have to wait as long. When you start doing that, people want to come back because they understand that you're doing everything to help them. What happens finally? What you want to do is always go through here and ask people for suggestions. If you have a customer that comes up and starts complaining, appreciate their comment, understand what they're saying, and if you have to go ahead and say, excuse me, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please explain that in a little bit more detail so I can understand exactly what you're saying so I can go ahead and solve this problem for you? And then follow up with them. Because 9 out of 10 people won't complain. If they don't like something in your store, guess what? They'll leave and never come back. When that cash register attendant closed her cash register and walked away, I didn't complain. I just never came back. 9 out of 10 people will do the same thing. So you want people to complain, and you want to be able to handle the complaint in the correct manner. Listen to what they're saying, see if there's a solution, solve it. Thank them for their input. And finally, you want to have a return policy that makes sense for you, but is also respectful of that person's decisions. So if someone returns something, what you want them to say is, wow, I don't have to worry about buying something here because if I don't like it for some reason, I can bring it back, no problem. Let me buy more. What you don't want to have happen is to have the return process be so difficult that a person says, man, I didn't like what was there. They got me once. They're not going to get me again. Make your return process so easy that people will never think about not shopping at your store. They'll just want to come back again and again and again because they know that they're safe. They can make a stupid decision and they'll still be able to go ahead and bring their product back. When you do that, you'll have more sales.